Breaking news this afternoon, President Biden has announced his plans for student loan forgiveness. Today, the White House announced it's canceling up to $10,000 of loans for borrowers who make under $125,000 a year. And some who received a Pell Grant can be forgiven up to $20,000 in federal loans. Payments for federal student loans will also be extended until the end of this year. There are still many questions about this new plan and what it all means. Joining us now to help sort this all out from the University of New Haven is economics professor John Rosen. John, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So first off, a lot of people probably welcoming this news. Who exactly will qualify for loan forgiveness? They mentioned some of the salary requirements. What are some of the other requirements?
Actually, that's about it. They tried very hard to make sure that the only real limit is the income limit that you already mentioned, the 125 or 250 for a family of two. There are some minor restrictions, but if you have a graduate or an undergraduate degree and you have a federal, that's one restriction. It has to strictly be federally guaranteed, because the federal government is the one giving it back to you. So there are some student loans that they call private, that are federal government loans. Aside from that, if it's a federally guaranteed loan, and you would know that, it would be on your statement every month, and you're not making over the threshold, the 125,000, you can almost certainly qualify for cancellation forgiveness. They're calling it, not cancellation, of $10,000 or your total balance, whichever is lower. Something like 8 or 9 million people in the country do have loans that are 10,000 or less, so they would have all their debt.
Now, some people who heard this plan today obviously not happy with it. There are a lot of concerns about the economy, how this is going to affect the record inflation that we have been dealing with. How do you expect this to play out in terms of the economy?
So two things. First of all, let us assume the plan gets approved and gets through. Some of it has to be worked out by regulators. It's going to be challenged in court. So it may be months before all that gets sorted out. If you assume perfection for President Biden, that it all does get through, assume it all gets through. The cost of this, remember, the loans still have to be paid to the banks. So the loans are going to be paid to the banks by the federal government, the $10,000 per student. The cost of that is estimated at $300 billion. Now, interestingly, the Inflation Reduction Act, which was passed a week and a half ago or so, which much ballyhooed, intending to reduce inflation, it claimed it would be reducing inflation by the same number by reducing the deficit by $300 billion. So ultimately, if both of them go through as is, the net impact on the economy is zero. It's literally the same number. All it means is we're taxing certain people to give loan forgiveness to certain other people.
Well, definitely much more to come. We will see how this all plays out. Some happy people, some not so happy. John Rosen from the University of New Haven, we appreciate you being with us today. Thank you.
Thank you.